Hello, it's Sarah. I just wanted to share, these are the finished pieces that I'm going to be working on in today's video. I did this little girl. She's out of all plastic beads. I'll share with you those. The porcupine is so cute. I just went with all green and I just bent him back like a porcupine. Oops, I'm filming by hand. And then my sugar skull, which is my little Sara plant, I called it, because, you know, he's crazy. He has chickens in his hair and words and everything. But that's what I'm working on today. I hope you like it. Hello, it's Sara. I think I touched something. Oh, there we go. And in this video, I'm working on beaded plants. I think there must have been a TikTok video that someone did creating plants out of beads just by making a strand of beads appear to be part of a plant, putting it in a pot, and it went viral. And anyway, something about it came up on my Facebook thread, and I thought, well, that's something I can do because I have lots of beads. I've also got lots of planters because I've done both things, so I just gathered up a lot of beads that I thought would look nice. I'm going to share a finished one that I did in a minute. And I want to do it along with you guys. So I am going to make this little porcupine. I've had this in my stash forever. I did fill, did I run out of here? This is the stuff. I bought this. This is called dry foam. I got this from Hobby Lobby. It's just that stuff that it's for floral craft that you stuff your picks into when you're making a flower arrangement. And I cut it into size to fit. This is just felt. I decided to use felt. You could use moss, or I don't know. I think it looks nice with something covering it. This one had a little green showing. But hopefully you're not going to notice much of that. It's going to be more about the beads coming out. Now, I personally thought I could do so much with this because I make beaded bracelets with words on them, you know. I had these in my stash. I made macrame for these. I gotta find the little macrames that held these. But like, if you have just some e-beads like this, these two little packs, I think this has been opened. You could make a little tiny one, but then I thought, why can't I add words? So look, here's one that I made. I don't know that it's gonna show up. Okay, so you can kind of see it's just sticking out all over the place. It's not very dense. But this, I actually think I have to take my camera down to show you. It's a sugar skull pot that I painted, right? So I think what I did here was I put the plant to match my sugar skull, and it's just a Sara plant. It's a very rare plant that, you know, only grows in my house. And there it is. And I put little chickens and I put little sugar skull beads. Just kind of pulled whatever butterflies and strawberries I have on here. A little bumblebee is in the middle, a peace sign, another sugar skull, lots of hearts, little dangling butterflies are on the ends of some of them. Couple other butterflies, and I just played. But I also used my letter beads, and I put love with a big red heart. I put faith. I put trust. And you could just go wild. You could go nuts. You could make it a family tree and put your kids' names, put your husband's names. I just played around and had fun and made it whatever. And I added a lot of gold. So you just can make it whatever you want. And make it, see, I have the brown. The only problem was I used this little picker tool. I've used this a lot in my crafting. It's just a pokey thing. I forget what it was for. I think it's for some type of punch, tin punch or something. Just to initially poke through because I couldn't get through it with just the wire and it was causing an issue. But it's so cute. I'm sorry that you can't get the full. There it is. He's so cute. And I'm just going to put him up, obviously, in my craft room or wherever. maybe on a plant shelf, you know. People be like, what kind of plant is that? Oh, that's a Sara plant. But my husband isn't that guy, right? So when I showed it with him, he was like, yeah, that's a lot, you know. And most of them are just made with green beads. So I gathered up a lot of the green. Now, that's not to say that I used green in here. Like, see, this one is just a strand of all green. All different greens. And I think a gold. That's cool. That's green, actually. So there's a couple that just have, this one's all greens. I only did a couple that were like more considered like a filler bead or something. But this is just, it's for fun. These aren't real plants. So why can't you just put whatever you want? You could do it with bugle, or what are those called? The little kid beads that you can get a whole thing, a tub of them, half price sale, whatever. But I just pulled a bunch of green from my stash and made this little bucket. I'm going to work with those. I had this, and I have so many beads that I just use, you know. But this was one way I'm going to do it. And I think I'm going to do her. So I had her in my stash, and I'm going to make her all with these beads. Now this is from Hobby Lobby. I got 2 packs of this bead mix, and it's called Pastel Jewels, and these are plastic. They don't really shine or anything, but I like that they had this gold kind of accent to it. So I got these. This is what I'm trying to think about, and I can't think of the name of them. They're not bugle bead. I can't think of the name of them, but they're plastic. I guess this was around $8 for all these beads. So it's not cheap. I actually, you know, Dollar Tree has them, and you know, anyway, these were just some more of those butterflies that I used in the other one, that just to dangle off the ends. There's a couple ways to go with your wire, and initially I thought I was just going to use the regular traditional wire that you use for when you're doing a floral arrangement. You would usually just take the flowers and tie them onto sticks and put the sticks into the base. And in this case, I thought about, I kind of tried it with a toothpick. You don't need to do that, and here's why. This is kind of really flimsy. Some of my beads were heavy and they were just hanging down, and I kind of wanted them to stick up. So I'm using 20 gauge wire, and the reason is I had it in my stash, or I would have kind of been stuck and had to figure something else out. But because I've done bead wrapping like this, you know, like I've done this type of work before, it's a little more substantial, it's a thicker gauge, and that way you can just use the wire to stick right into. So this is almost gone. This is the artistic wire, 20 gauge. This is silver. You're not going to see the wire, so it really doesn't matter what color it is either. But the thing is, and I think if you get this with well, there's hardly ever a coupon, but when stuff's on sale, that's when I buy it. Or just see if there's a thicker wire at Dollar Tree. Sometimes it's really stiff, but you don't need much give for this. The only thing I do is I do curl the end. So let me just show you that real quick. So on the end of each, I'm going to put my finger behind it, of each strand, I create this little loop just to keep the beads from falling off, but it also acts as a great little place to put a dangle if you want to, or a little charm. So you're going to need one of these, a couple of beading tools, not many. These are the flush cutters. So those are to cut your wire. I have 2, and this is important, like a needle nose, but this is just in case I want to open a jump ring. But you really need one needle nose plier, because after I've created I'll show you, and then this one. This is the round nose pliers, and this is how I make my little kind of curly cue at the end of the wire. So let me start. I'm going to start with these guys, and just, I don't know, I think, okay, and all you need is about 6 inches of wire at a time. I gotta find the end. I could have just cut me some. I'm kind of taking it off here. Hold on. I'll be right back. I'm going to cut me a bunch of 6-inch pieces. All right, I have 4 here to start. So you take your wire, very, very tippy top of the wire, and you are going to create this little loop. And I don't do it in any professional way at all. I just take it and hold it between the two, and then I roll. I just roll it around, let go of that and grab it again, roll it around, and I kind of roll it next to each other. I don't know if any of that. So see how it's like I started on this side and it rolled around and went next to each other. So it's just a little loop. That's going to hold our beads in place. So I'll do it again. Just straightening it out beforehand. Take my little tool and roll it, release, and come back and roll it again. And it kind of just rolls right up against each other. And I just leave the opening at the bottom. All right, so now I think I want to use some of these in each strand. I'll put a few of them out. And we're going to start with that. Now these are bigger hold beads than I have been working with. So yes, that'll work. And then I'm going to grab like a handful of these because I like to see, and I'll probably create like this is the top, remember. So you're kind of doing it upside down when you're thinking about the look of it. Oh, there's a butterfly. I want to use a heart. I'm putting a heart. This is so cute. And I am making them all the different colors because that's just how I roll. I'm in all the different colors, girl. There are hearts on here, so I made sure it was going the right way. And I could probably stop there. I'm just going to end with another, or I'm going to put a blue in between. Another blue, a little blue. I'm going to go back up because I always forget that I'm at it, that I get out of the shot. So this is a lot of, okay, now here's where the needle nose pliers comes in. I'm going to grab it right where the last bead, because that holds them on. Otherwise they're going to slide down. And then when I embed it into the stuff, I could try and just go down, but I'm going to use my pokey tool just to get through the, and you won't need to do this if you use moss. You can just go right into the substrate, that foam stuff. But I just want to make a little hole in my, and then you just push it down. So that's kind of one. They're a little long, but maybe I'll bend them, and that's it. It's just a process of, you could probably just do your beading first, like do a bunch of them, and then when you're ready, stick them in the project. Because it's, for me, you could just do it mindlessly and just, you know, make some of these and then move on to the next part. But I do like to think about, look at this, it's a little flower. Oh gosh. Stuff is so cute. They're plastic though. They have butterflies, hearts, and flowers. And then the rest are just shapes. I'm going to put another gold. I got to remember my gold, because I do want to add, I want to put a green. I personally like to mix it up, so I don't want to do too many repeat. I'd like to have one of everything if I could. And there's really only a few different colors. There's like a pink, purple, green, and a yellow or gold or clear maybe. Ooh, this, no. I want one of them but in a different color. Honestly, 2 packs of this I thought was going to be plenty. I'm not sure now. You know, I mean, but again, I'm going to take this and grab it by the needle nose pliers. Let me just see. I'll show you what it's like to just do it without using my little sticky tool first. Kind of got to help it. It does not want to go through. So just because I chose to use felt, it's giving me a little extra step that I have to do. So that's it, basically. Look, that one's a little shorter. I'm gonna just keep going. I'll do this one. Maybe I'll make this one a little longer. Start here and make a turn and make it around itself. Pull it to straighten it. And I definitely want to remember to put these gold ones on because they make it pop. I like putting little ones at the top. I don't know why. And just kind of following it down. So blue, this is pink, a big purple, a green butterfly, another blue, and one of these. So about 4 to 5 inches worth of, that's actually 3.5 inches worth of stuff. I think that's the shortest one I've done. I'm gonna do another bead. Like, I would like to find a green, but I don't see a green. There's greens here. I'll do a green. Okay, so I made it a little taller. I take my pokey tool. I'm kind of trying to condense these a little bit, so I'm gonna put it kind of close because I want to fill it up pretty good. So that's what it's looking like so far. I'm gonna come back when I filled it up and see, because look, this is a surprise for me too. I've never done one before with those. The other ones, because these are all pretty big beads, and then maybe I'll do one with these little baby beads. I'll do one of those little ones. I'll be right back. I'm back. I just wanted to share, you know, it's starting to come together and get filled in, but I like this technique. I just cut a bunch, like maybe 5 or 6. Then I'm going to take them all and make the little loop at the top. And you kind of just assembly line it. So I'll set this down. And then, excuse me, it is spring here in New Jersey and the trees are popping, everything's bloomed. My allergies are doing pretty good actually, considering. I think May is when, I think it's the oak trees when they really, when they start, their leaves start coming, that's when everything gets covered in this yellow pollen and it's a mess. But then when that goes away, it's awesome. It's kind of windy here today. My wind chimes are blowing. Okay, so see, so I did that. Now I just start stringing, and as I've gone, I've remembered to put more gold on there because this is it. This is all the beads I got. Those 2 packs were, so it's enough. I would definitely say it's enough. I don't, oops, you know what? I like to put the gold first. Then I start little to big, so I don't know why. It's just the way I do it. And that way it makes it faster too. So I want to put a heart. Let's put another gold, then a heart, then one of these upside down jobbers. I want to find a blue one. Some are puffy and some are flat. And then maybe another gold because it also fills a little more space on the, and I like to leave the decorative pieces for the top because those are a little more visual, you know, you can see them better. So I'll go with a little one on the bottom and then I'm just setting it down. And then I'm going to start another one and I like to start with the gold again. There's a lot of these little purples, so I'll, you know, when I put these on the piece, I'm going to put a butterfly and then a gold. I want to put them kind of far from each other. Like here on this part, these 2 big puffy purples were near each other. So I took it out, and I just so that they're not right up against each other. I mean, I don't mind if they're close to each other. I think I want a blue. There was a puffy blue. Nope, no more puffy blues. There's a heart. A blue heart. There's only one blue flower. Another gold. And see, this is the puffy purple. I thought there was a puffy blue. No, I like these. These are kind of puffy. I haven't used these a lot either, so I'm seeing a lot of them. Another one of these. I'll do a green one of them. And then a gold. And that's it. So you get it. I'll be back when I've kind of put it all together and she's done. Okay, she's done. I have quite a few left. I could probably have added at least 5 more. But I think it's compact enough. Look at from the top. I tried to do probably every 1/2 inch. I filled the space. I could probably fit one more at the edge here, but I'm happy with it. And I ended up tipping them, a lot of them down. I have a couple, it was like, I don't know, I shaped it a little bit. See how I tipped them down? I think it looks so cute. And, you know, it's just, you know, and I would suggest too, like if you have some favorite beads, and I used to do this with stick pins, pull them out and display them. I mean, if they're just sitting in a bag somewhere in a drawer, you know, look at these. See, I could definitely fit a couple more in here, and I may with a thinner variety or something like that. I'm not sure. Maybe just one more strand. I could move that over. But these are delightful. They're absolutely delightful. I have a little bumblebee. Oh my God. I want to put another word, I think. I have faith, love, trust. I think I had grateful. I have grateful out here somewhere. So I'm going to keep playing, and hopefully you guys will share with me your adventures with this as well. And you know, as always, I found this. I looked in my Christmas beads, and look at these green beads. So I'm going to pull together another green one. Maybe I'll post it on my Facebook page, My Serenity Crafts, and maybe you guys can share with me if you decide to make one. Like I said, you can use whatever pot. Like these pots had succulents in them that didn't go. So I just cleaned them out, and I put some of that foam in there, and I'm using it now. So I'm going to put her somewhere. It's so cute. All right, you guys, that's it for today. Thanks for watching.